are live. It's a late night tonight. I just wanted to go over this video footage that has been released. This is from one of the news choppers. They released this footage. This is of Suzanne and Barry's house. And the helicopter kind of flies over the area, shows some pretty close-ups of the house, and then kind of flies over the general area of where they say she went out riding on her bicycle. That's the story being told. I haven't watched this footage, so I haven't seen if there's anything that stands out. If you've seen this footage and there's something that popped out at you or something that, that you saw that you want me to talk about, I will. But how's everyone else doing today? This was probably taken, it looked like this was taken sometime today. Yeah, it's a $1.5 million house, I think is what it was listed for. So, yeah, really nice house, and it's in one of the most beautiful places you could ever live, really. There's lots of rumors flying around about the husband, about a mistress, about a lot of different things. I can tell you that they are not going through the house for evidence because they don't think something went down. They are looking into this a lot deeper than just a woman who went missing on a bicycle. And so I do know that they have already, people are, I don't know if they're zooming in. There's no audio to this, but has there been an arrest? I saw your post earlier. I haven't actually heard of any arrests being made yet. I don't know about Trevor Noel going radio silent, but I can tell you that Trevor Noel's Facebook page, he only has like 50 people that are friends. I don't even know if that's a real Facebook page he created to use and create the main page. Whoever is pushing the main page, the missing Find Suzanne Morphew's Facebook page, that is run by a guy named Trevor Noel. And Trevor Noel did do an interview on a news station, but I didn't know he had gone radio silent. I didn't know anyone had him on the radio. Somebody says, I think it's going down tomorrow. It looked like there was an excavating bobcat there, like a little bobcat, but it also looks like they were doing some fresh landscaping, which is crazy. Yeah, that property's kick-ass. If they have high-speed internet there, I mean, this is like right on Monarch Pass. Like, that's normally a second home for someone in Colorado. But this is their second home because they do have a home back in Indiana. Wouldn't that be a kicker if that kid that did the first interview had something to do with it, this Trevor guy? I don't think he did. I think he's family. I think he is some sort of nephew or something. I would hope he didn't have something to do with it. What do you guys think? I should do a call-in show. Should I open the phone lines up? Maybe I'll open the phone lines up for a what you guys think. Tell us more on the mistress. Well, I had some information that I thought was legit is the problem. I did make a comment about the mistress, and I've read some stuff about a mistress, but I don't know the details. I'd love to tell you the juicy details, but I don't have those yet. Now, that don't mean I ain't trying. Now, here's what I can tell you. There is an interview coming out. Listen, if you're into this case, I'm trying to tell you where you're going to find some of the latest, best info. There is an interview that will be coming out tomorrow with someone that is really close to this case. Now, I don't push a lot I don't try to push a lot of other people to you for you to go follow, but I have it on pretty good authority that tomorrow an interview with someone who is really close to this case will come out. Hopefully, the only problem with what I'm about to tell you is the people who do these interviews, they don't do like a dad with the phone style interview where they give you like a 45-minute interview. They're going to give you like a 90-second little tidbit of an interview. And it's the best you're going to get tomorrow. So keep your eyes and ears peeled. Oh, I'll tell you where to find that. You want to go over to Fox 21 and check that out on Fox 21. They're going to be running on some sort of new interview with someone close to this case. So should be a good source of info if my sources are correct. The interview was done today. I don't know if they're going to how they're going to run the whole story or what they're going to do. They never really run the whole story, which really sucks. So that's the best I can give you on that. I don't have any break. I was fishing all day. So if you're asking me for breaking info today, I just wanted to see this video that just was released. I hope you didn't come here for breaking info because it ain't happening. I actually need something else. I walked off. Crime 411 channel supposedly. I do know that I haven't listened to if they've released the Nancy Gray interview with Lauren from over at Fox 21. I do know she was interviewed by her today. I don't know if that actually came out over on Crime Online. So this is where she would have left and headed out when she went riding. This area is real popular, though. I don't want people to think that this isn't a very heavily trafficked area. This is a real this is one of the only highways off of that goes over the pass. And on any given day, normally there would be a lot of cars traveling this highway. I do know that they closed this highway down to do some searches. I don't believe they have found anything yet. I'm going to be honest with you. Some people are not going to be happy with what I'm about to say. But I don't think they're going to find Suzanne. And I know that's not what a lot of you guys want to hear. If they do, it's going to be like by total chance, I think. It's going to be one of those things where like a construction worker finds her or someone happens upon her. I'm really concerned that the story that has been being told about the bike ride and all of that stuff, I just don't know. I just don't know if that's I think that could have been a misdirection thing. I really do. I feel like after kind of talking with some people that have been following this case and that have been over there in Chaffee County, they're really looking into this case as a murder case. Something happened to her. And although they went down the, searched for her, sent out search parties, divers, sent out dogs, horseback riders, drones, helicopters. I mean, look at this. This is beautiful. Oh, that is just a beautiful frame right there of where this place is at. And you got to understand that the mountains on every side of this highway are 14,000 foot peaks off to the left and to the right. If this video were to pan around, this is in the middle of the mountains of Colorado. This isn't close to this is close to nowhere. This is what makes this place so great. If I could live anywhere, I would live. I would take this house. This house would do. This would be like a dream. This is like what people dream of. This is what people dream of. This is why this is crazy, because this is where people go to retire and to live out their life in like this beautiful place. I don't know what this guy was, a fireman. She worked for a nonprofit. this isn't like you worked at Albertsons down the road. You didn't have a local business. They didn't have a local business. Maysville, probably the largest industry in Maysville, is probably like a 300-pound Avon lady. And I don't even think there's any 300-pound people in this area. I understand I'm being a little mean to the Avon ladies. I'm sorry if you sell Avon. Don't be upset. It's like a dad joke. A bad dad joke. What do you guys think? Let me see here. I don't have a banner created with my phone number. Let me see if I can get a phone call in and see if anybody wants to give me. You can call that number at the bottom of the screen. You'll be talking to Dad with the phone live right here in Colorado as we kind of just watch the property here. It's obviously some police officers posted at the property. What are your thoughts? What do you think is going on with this case? There's a lot of unanswered questions. People have a 100 different ways they're speculating. I don't really have a speculation yet. I've said some things, but I try to keep an open mind about it and let law enforcement do what they're going to do. But if you got your own thoughts, what have you heard? What have you been listening to on social media? Pick up your phone and call Dad with the phone. Tell me what you think. It's been a while since I've done a late night call-in show, so who knows what's going to happen. We may get some crazies. But this case has already captivated the world. It's only been 10 days. Today's Thursday. So we're looking at like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days. Are we going on day 12 now? They did bring dogs in for the search area. I do not know if they've brought dogs in for the house. Oh, we got a call in from Indiana. Uh-oh. You're live with Dad with the phone.
Hi, Dad with the phone. How are you tonight?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Well, I'm trying to recover from double pneumonia, but I'm sitting here talking to you.
Well, so you had double pneumonia, but the COVID didn't get you?
No, I did not get the COVID. I had 2 COVID tests. They were negative. I'm very grateful for that. I'm just trying to recover from pneumonia.
Well, what do you think about this case that we're kind of looking at right now?
Well, it's insane. I actually live about 15 minutes from where this woman is originally from here.
Okay, so you're there in Indiana?
Yep.
And did you know anybody involved in this thing?
No, I don't know anybody involved in this.
So what's the area from where they're from? So like I know this area where they moved, but what kind of area is where they're from? Is it a small rural town?
Yeah, it's a small rural town. Lots of landscape, lots of houses. It's a smaller, tight-knit community. Everybody pretty much knows everybody in that area. And nice homes, nice schools.
So is this making the news there locally?
It's been mentioned once or twice, but not really hitting as hard as it is on other networks.
Okay. So what do you think about all of it?
I think it's insane. I think this woman probably witnessing days before Mother's Day. Honestly, at least a couple days before. I mean, the husband being out of town in Denver, they're saying that he was out for firefighter training, and then there's a lot of scrutiny against that because they're saying a lot of these training programs may have been shut down during this whole state shutdown thing. So, I mean, I don't know if he really went there or not. I mean, I saw the article yesterday from, I think it was the Daily Post, that, some of the people that he worked with were, wanting to help his family look for them. They were restricted from searches. There were, they're getting information to him through the firefighters. They're not allowing the public to come in and search, pretty much. I mean, he's staying at a place down the road, like at a friend's vacation home. There are family members and friends that have left from Indiana to Colorado to go there to be with them and show support for the family. And they had, pictures of the home being searched yesterday, with officers carrying out what appeared to be empty bottles from luminol, evidence bags. They had been dragging and searching ponds, things like that. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if the guy did it. I don't want to say he did, because you don't ever really know. I mean, look at the whole situation with the Heidi Broussard case. Everybody thought that the fiance was possibly involved, and it turned out that he had absolutely nothing to do with it. And her kids were on a camping trip in Idaho during this time. So, I mean, the daughters hadn't heard back from their mother, and asked the neighbor to go over there to check on their mother. The neighbor got in her vehicle, drove around. They found the bike, propped up, from what I understand, or the rumor is, I don't know if it's been confirmed, but it was propped up next to a tree by the creek, and the brakes were heavily locked up on the bike. I don't know, and it's kind of concerning because when this whole thing hit, nobody really got a description of what this woman's height, weight, anything like that was. Nobody got a description of what her bike looked like, anything like that. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's a crazy scenario, and the stories and the things that are kind of flying around. You kind of like went through it all there, you kind of just rocked it out there. And some of that, some of that's been confirmed, some of it hasn't been confirmed. The bicycle itself, wasn't confirmed by law enforcement for a minute. They were letting, the nephew, I guess, who shared that on the news, he kind of confirmed it on the news story.
Yeah.
But the police hadn't let that information out. What we're seeing on the video right now is literally they just kind of did a pullback from where the house was and then to the road and the trail area where, she, supposedly this bike was found. So so it wasn't very far from her house,
nope.
At all. And then,
it was 2 miles away.
Yeah. And then at that point, I don't even know if it's at that point. I don't even know if it's 2 miles away, maybe by the roads, I guess.
It was 1.9 miles, I believe, on Google Maps. And then they were saying that they found the personal belongings about 2,000 yards from the home, or 2,000 feet.
Interesting.
One of the two. There's also a rumor going on, and I don't know if it's true or speculation just floating around, that the police had absolutely no idea that the husband had made that 26.7 minute video or
that's that's for sure a confirmed deal. I actually, the public information officer answered questions on Sunday. After that video was released, people were calling the sheriff's office, the public information officer, asking if that was something that was coordinated through them, and the sheriff's department confirmed that they didn't know anything about that video.
Yeah, see, I hadn't seen that. I kind of heard through the rumor mill.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was confirmed yet or not. And then the other thing that speculation is going on is that apparently the rumor is that the husband has a mistress who is part of a hunting group that he participates with or whatever, that he's apparently
so here's
a 29-year-old woman.
Yeah, so I've seen that, and I've seen that the only the only evidence that would even support like a mistress is that he liked her photos, like he hearted her photo.
Well, I saw, because I participate in a lot of different like crime groups on Facebook and stuff like that.
Yeah. And
I saw a screenshot yesterday, and I'll have to pick it up and find it for you. I can send it to you. But there was a screenshot that apparently she had got on the husband's Facebook page and began to like comment on some photos that he had posted that had been old. I don't know if it was like some of her family or her friends that confronted her about it. And that's how like the whole rumor mill got started about the mistress type deal.
Interesting. No, yeah. Like again, if there's a, if it's a love triangle scenario, it makes, it gives us a little bit of idea of maybe some motive and some things that were going on. From the outward appearance and everything that I've seen reported by people who actually knew them, is that this was a relatively loving family that everybody thought was, pretty happy and normal.
Yeah, I mean, they looked really happy in their photos. Man, she's gorgeous. I mean, he's a pretty lucky guy, it looks like. They have a gorgeous family, gorgeous girls. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what else to say about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really sad.
Yeah, I actually just spoke with a domestic violence counselor. I wasn't there getting counseling from her, but she's a domestic violence counselor. And she said that during this COVID time, even the DA, which this area here, I mean, it's not this area where this happened, but even in our area, like the domestic violence cases are actually on the rise, and they're more violent. Like they're just worse cases.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're talking about during this COVID time too, that there's been an uprise in domestic violence cases across the board here in the United States. So it doesn't really surprise me at all right now, honestly.
Yeah, it's a wild and crazy time for people that are in abusive relationships to be even now locked up, quarantined, or in some sort of trap deal. So, hey, well, thanks for calling in and giving us some insight.
Yeah, no problem. I know you were like, what's the 411? And I was like, hey, I got you.
You filled it up. You filled it out right there. So, hey, thanks for calling.
Yep, have a great night.
You too. People are texting me. I see you from Canada. Canada's texting. Other people are texting. Somebody from the 719. Who's this? Somebody texts me and says, "Hey, Dad," with a phone, but I don't have them in my phone, so I don't know who it is. Somebody needs to ask Lady what happened to the hole. That's funny, kind of, Steve. I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of funny. Yeah, they said the kids her daughters were camping. Is that her house? Yes, this is the house of Suzanne Morphew, Suzanne and Barry Morphew. The house has been quarantined. No, it's on like lockdown. It's on police lockdown. It's a crime scene for all intensive purposes. People are wondering about the training in Denver. Look, I'm not a fireman by any stretch. Somebody from North Augusta, South Carolina. How are you doing tonight? You're live with Dad with the phone.
Hi, how are you doing, Dad, with the phone?
Doing good.
Good. I have just a quick question for you. What are your thoughts about the girls not being present with the father on the plea for their missing mom?
What do you think?
If you can say.
What do you think about that?
Oh man, you put me on the spot. I find it a little odd, but you never know what thoughts are going through people's heads. I found it odd.
You found, yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's kind of odd that somebody, their mom goes missing and they're not even, like, I would think they would be with their dad right at that moment.
Right, exactly. And is there any, do we know if the girls are staying with their dad? I mean, I know that's not really our business, but do we know if they're with him or?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're older. To me, they look like they're in their college. I do know and have it on pretty good authority that it was the daughter who actually kind of set the whole thing in motion with the neighbor. It wasn't like it wasn't the neighbor that she didn't contact the neighbor, and there wasn't like a message to the neighbor from Suzanne. It was the daughter who contacted, which to me, again, like, was the daughter trying to contact dad for a couple of days?
Right. We don't know what was going on there. It just makes you wonder. And I know that everybody kind of gets an instinct when they first see these things, and they kind of right off the bat, have this feeling of, did he do it or did he not? Or, with this one, I'm so on the fence. It was pretty easy to tell with Chris Watts. It was, I don't know. I hate even comparing it to that, but I just really can't tell, because part of me feels like he looks so sincere, but then the other part of me is like, he's so guilty. And I can't say either way. It's just, I just wondered what you thought about the girls not being present with him on that video.
Yeah, I think that is weird, right? I think it is weird that they haven't made a plea for their mother missing,
Yeah.
And, I don't know. We don't know the family situation, right? We don't know what happened behind those four walls that we're looking at.
Right.
This big house. We don't know what happened.
And anybody can, look like a perfect family. Anyone can have that presence on Facebook or whatever, the case may be. But you never know what's going on behind closed doors with anyone.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
And, all right.
So no, I think it's strange, to answer your question. I wasn't dodging your question. I kind of wanted to know what you thought.
Well, I find it odd. I do, because just in my situation, God forbid, if anything ever happened to one of my family members, I would definitely be center with whoever. I would be there. So but we don't know if someone hasn't told them, just to hush, or they might be not wanting to do it. I just wonder what you thought.
Yeah. Well, thanks for calling.
No problem. Thank you for all you do.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
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 Some people are texting me, telling me what they think. I can't read your books when you write a book in the middle of the show. That's why we do a call-in show. I don't mind your texts. I'll read them at some point, maybe. But yeah, I don't believe the daughters live there at the home. I believe the daughters are grown. You're live with Dad with the phone.
Hey, one more thing I forgot to mention.
Uh-oh. Back from Indiana.
Way, sorry. Don't mean to take up your time, but there was a video that was released on another creator's channel, Plunder. I think it was either last night or the night before last. But there was also somebody that goes in that area riding on those same bike trails as Suzanne Morphew. And he reported that there was a suspicious vehicle parked in the area that he said looked weird, did not definitely belong there. And he spoke with law enforcement about it as well.
Yeah, and I saw some of these posts on that. And I don't really, somebody says suspicious vehicle. The deal is that's a trailhead. Like that's like a normal trailhead. So people's vehicles can be parked there and I've said it that's a trailhead to the Colorado Trail. So it literally could be anyone from around the world that's come here just to hike the trail. And there's a very big possibility that, somebody from that was on that trail is involved in this, and so that always has to remain out there because of where that location. That's not just like a local trail. That's a well-marked, well-traveled, very well-known trail. So a suspicious vehicle, an unknown vehicle, maybe. I don't know what makes it a suspicious vehicle, if it's just a vehicle that he didn't recognize, but I do know that that's a trailhead. And so there's going to be.
I understand that. I was just saying
I did see that though, for sure.
He is an avid rider out there all the time. That this was a vehicle that he just had not seen before. That does not generally park in that area. So I thought that was also interesting too.
Yep. Hey, well, thanks for calling back.
You're welcome.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye. Somebody says one of the daughters is in her 20s and the other is a minor. But I don't know if the girls lived at the house or not. I know that they weren't around. And allegedly that Barry was in Denver at a training of some sort. He's a firefighter. I can't confirm or, disprove if there was a firefighter training. I saw some funny memes though. There was I do think that they were going to be meeting for a firefighter's calendar shoot, but that calendar shoot was for sure canceled. I did see that meme. Somebody sent me that. Oh, so somebody says one of the daughters, maybe the minor, lives with her boyfriend's parents. So I don't know. I don't know the family dynamics. I know you guys have been digging deep. I've been fishing all day. I'm going fishing again tomorrow. We might be actually going out to this area. There's a lake that's right close to here that we like to camp out. We've been talking about going over there camping. If that's the case, we will spin by here, but we'll drive right by here because we'll head up on 50. I'm getting texts. People are saying that it's the 20-year-old or the 20-something-year-old that is living with their boyfriend, whether it's at their boyfriend's parents' house or with their boyfriend. We did double digits today. We caught a bunch of rainbow trout, and we caught a couple of good pike. It was a good day of fishing. It's a crazy area. This is the wild west when it comes to Colorado. I mean, you're far enough west now that you're in the mountains. This is headed up Monarch Pass off of Highway 50. If you take this highway over into Gunnison, Colorado, Maysville is just a small town, and this is just a real mountain. Like, you're going to see a bunch of these, multi-million-dollar homes, and then you may see like some shacks, where guys have bought mountain properties and just put their shacks. It's a crazy area. It's a real mix of people. This is a mining area, so there's a lot of like turquoise mining and like different gems and minerals, gold too. But there's like all these different. The couple of these mountains have some of the largest turquoise deposits in the world. So there's like the whole mining community around here. You're live with Dad with a phone.
Hi, Dad with the phone. I'm calling you from Denver. We're not getting much of that story down here. But I just have a question. Do you think there may be a possibility of a history of domestic violence with this?
Well, like the only way we would know that is if, they had reported some sort of, if there had been reports, if the cops had been called out to Barry's house or called out there for domestic violence incidences. That doesn't mean there wasn't some sort of abuse or something in the family that just was silent, that nobody knew about. It just means if we were going to get the only way we would actually know a history or something would be if there was some sort of records that they kept, and I haven't heard anything like that. But that doesn't mean the cops don't, right? That doesn't mean the cops haven't been called out here before, and they're not going to give that information out if in fact that's the truth. But from what I understand, and from everyone who has that has talked, that has known them, has said, this was a loving family, a good marriage and what have you. So, but again, everybody can look that way until it doesn't look that way,
Right, because this, from what I'm reading off of Facebook, on the news from Fox 21 and all that, this kind of sounds like part of Chris Watts and part of T-Bag.
You think it's like a little mix?
Yes.
Well, I mean, so if in fact someone with inside her little circle is involved in this, yeah, I mean, we're not getting that. But the fact that they've taken control of the house and are searching and, going through it for evidence, I believe, have confiscated his vehicle and his cell phone. And so, and they have made some statements that kind of point to a thing where it's like he's cooperating, but we're looking at all angles of this, which then takes us into a whole nother realm of, well, why are you calling this just a missing persons case? Well, they do that a lot of times just to make everyone, if there are people involved, just to make them feel comfortable. Like, hey, they're looking at this like a missing persons. They don't even know she's murdered yet, And so, but in truth, they're looking at this as a homicide case from day one, And so it's going to be interesting because this one they got on real quickly. She wasn't gone for, or missing for weeks. It was just a few days is what we are beginning to understand. And so they're going to be on it, and they're going to have cell phone. Now, I'm interested to know what kind of cell phone coverage they get here at the house. It would be surprising to me if they just had great service, because this is a really mountainous area, and I don't even get really good service out here. That doesn't mean they don't get service. It just means cell phone service could be sketchy up in this area. Yeah, so
I'm not gonna lie, because I drove up through Monarch Pass, going to Gunnison, to where my son went to college. So I know.
Yeah.
You're in a bunch of dead areas.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of dead areas up and down Highway 50 and around. So with that, if in fact something happened in this area, cell data might not play a big part of it. Yeah. And then you're not going to have have your standard video cameras. Like there's not going to be video cameras on those trails. Somebody was saying there's video cameras on those trails. It's very highly unlikely that they have video cameras on the trails. There may be some sort of weather camera that they put up on Monarch Pass, and there may be some security cameras from other people's houses. And I do believe some of that's going to come into play. But, you know, this isn't like a real populated area with just video cameras on every street corner, you know? So,
right. And my thing is, I know Colorado has been on that 10-mile radius. You not supposed to go within 10 miles away from your home.
well, I don't know about all that.
Well, that's what they got down here in Denver. We can't go without of a 10-mile radius.
Yeah, I think Denver's on Denver's on its own little
different
world.
page.
Yeah, it's on its own little world. So yeah, we have been on like a stay-at-home order, and it's, you know, this was part, you know, all of that. So it is interesting because he says he was at a training, which if that turns out to be a lie or not true, not verifiable, then all of a sudden it's definitely going to be pointing the finger straight at him, you know?
Well, I know being down here in Denver, everything has been closed. I mean, everything. All government buildings, everything has been closed in Denver.
Yeah, I mean, this would be, I would agree with you. I would say, yeah, most likely all the training facilities and all that training stuff has been postponed or canceled. And if that's the case, if that's in fact, then it's going to be blatantly obvious pretty quickly, you know, to the law enforcement and to whoever's investigating this, that the story that he's giving or the story that's been given about him isn't true. And so it'll be interesting to find out what kind of rolls out as facts and what doesn't. I am under the impression that we are going to get some sort of press conference either tomorrow or the following day. I would think it would be tomorrow because it's Friday. And so if they're going to do a press conference, I feel like they would do it tomorrow if they had something more to report. So we'll see.
Well, yeah, I probably had to catch it on Facebook because we're not getting too much of her case down here like we did with T-Bag and Chris Watts.
Yeah. But, well, kind of COVID is kind of taken over the news.
Oh, yes, I'm so sick of that. I still think it's a government issue virus, but that's my opinion, and I'll stick with that.
You're just gonna drop that real quick right there.
Well, I'm going to tell you, our mayor in Denver has really lost his mind. He has went to the United States Post Office distributing center and has tried to get him shut down.
Yeah, it's a crazy world we're in right now for sure.
I'm like, okay, and it's like every county around us has their DMVs open, but Denver.
Oh yeah.
Nothing is open in Denver at all.
Well, he told the president that Colorado was open for business.
He sure did, but Denver is not open. Everything around me is open, but Denver.
No, I understand. Hey, well, thanks for calling.
No problem. And my God, I got to get up there and go fishing with y'all.
Yes, you do. You got to come up. We'll go fishing.
Okay, I'll get my son ready, and as soon as I get my car registered, we'll be up that way.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
All right, Dad.
All right, bye-bye. Oh, what a good one. Good Facebook tonight. Hey, thanks for joining. If you're just joining, we've just kind of been going over the house, different theories, what we've been thinking about this whole case and what could or could not be, you know. It's a sad story. A mother goes missing on Mother's Day, around Mother's Day, and very little information is out. Father, we ask that you just cover this family, everyone involved. We ask that you be with everyone, and we ask that you bring the truth forward. And whatever happened to Suzanne, I pray that you reveal that to law enforcement, to the people that need to know. Bring some peace in that family. In your name we pray. Amen. You guys have a good night. Hey, thanks for joining me tonight. It's been fun. I've been out all day fishing and having fun with my kids. And tomorrow I'm going to do the same. Life is really good right now. I got some cool, exciting things happening in the interweb world. I know I've been a little lax on Dad with a Phone, Facebook, and YouTube, but we got some new stuff coming your way. Trust me, it's going to launch here shortly. COVID is keeping us up, keeping us busy. But thanks for joining tonight. You can find me at all the links at the bottom of the screen. If you don't know where, then you just type in Dad with the Phone in your Googler, and eventually you'll find me somewhere. So Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok. We'll talk to you guys later.